Remember I said when I first got there, like it wasn't like an initial like, oh, this is home. But what happened is like our first full day, we went on these tours. And what I appreciated about doing those places first is it's almost like it captured, like it gave you something to connect to, because a lot of the work that the Pan-Africanists were doing in Africa was also connected to civil rights leaders in the States. So they were working together. And there was this constant theme around the US and, our alphabet agencies getting involved and people mysteriously disappearing on planes. Like it literally became a theme. Also showed, I think for me, like this connection, like that the connection between our leaders in the States, their leaders in Africa, like they had come together, and it's like we have a similar plight that we're dealing with, and we are connected through our heritage. We learned about kente and the meaning of kente, which was beautiful because you learn about like the patterns. How did it start? What did it represent? How each cloth and pattern tells a story. Again, they are the suppliers to some of the big name chocolates that we know of, and how they have struggled and are working to create and bring that own economy back to their own country. And again, mysterious fires burning down cocoa trees. We got dressed for the naming ceremony. So I knew we were going to a naming ceremony as the end, like that was the culminating event for me that day. But we got dressed, and literally, like, I feel like once excuse me, like once everyone had on their traditional garments, it was like this, like, when the men came in and they had on their like official, everybody was like, okay. And we get on the bus, go to this village, I guess. And they tell you like how naming ceremonies traditionally work. So after a baby is born, X amount of days, this is how names are given to children. One, your first name is based on your day of the week. And then two, I guess they give a name that captures who you are or maybe what they want you to do. So we got two names there. We were told about like traditionally when you're sitting here, you have to sit with your feet planted on the ground. You can't cross your legs. And then of course, after in true Black fashion, like after a ceremony, there's a party. So there was drumming and dancing, a very beautiful event. I remember like sitting in there and thinking, we never got this. Like we never got this. There's a part of our history and our culture that was stripped from us. Like, of course, as a Black person in America, we have created traditions, but like the core of how our people celebrated birth, how we thought about names, how it was a ceremony, we didn't get that. And I know that these ceremonies, maybe there are things for African Americans, for Black people who travel back to feel like you're getting that connection. But I just remember feeling that vividly. I also remembered like looking around like, wow, we're like real life in a village and in this ceremony, and it was just beautiful. And I think that began that shift of like, wow, when they're saying welcome home, this is your history, these are your people. I felt that. And especially because after we left there, so this is probably like day 2, 3, everywhere we went, people would be like, what is your name? I remember we were at Slave River, and the man asked my daughter, what is your name? And she said, Lauren. He said, that is not your name. She said, oh, Akusuwa. And he said, very good. So I was like, Lord, let me practice my name. So if people ask me, I have it. The other theme is that people loved children there. They loved children. They loved children. As you saw at the kente, the cocoa, the naming ceremony, the chief only smiled when he took a picture with my daughter. She was the only volunteer throughout our time in Ghana, which I mean, I also thought it was beautiful, but we wanted to try stuff too, right, Aaron? So yeah, so it was a beautiful thing. And then we ended our day actually going back to an Ashanti, like it's another museum where they talk about the Ashanti people, the golden stool, things that they had to do to defeat people, things that they had to do to trick them to get what they needed, and just about like their culture. So it was a beautiful, beautiful day. And I felt like, you know, at this point, I was all the way in. Like, okay, I get it. I get it. I'm feeling it. I'm here. I get why people want to come back. All right, stay tuned. I still got some more stuff for y'all.